Has Xbox approached Nintendo and PlayStation to put their great service of Game Pass on those platforms? That seems to be the case since Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, went into detail about how Nintendo and PlayStation don't want to support Game Pass at all. Let's get into what was said and if Xbox kind of takes a jab at those closed-off platforms. Let's get into this. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, make sure to hit that small little bell icon. It helps out the channel a lot. Alright, so let's talk about this pretty awesome interview that Phil Spencer just had when it comes to Xbox Game Pass and the service coming to other platforms. Now, we know what platforms we're talking about. PlayStation and Nintendo, the two other massive platforms out there in the gaming market. Sure, there's PC, Steam, and mobile gaming out there, but so far, we know the big ones are Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo. Yet it seems like those two platforms are the ones that don't want to support Game Pass or any other games from Xbox to be on their platform, mainly PlayStation. We know that Nintendo and Xbox have worked together before and have actually been pretty friendly. Same can't be said with Xbox and PlayStation, not by a long shot. And it would seem that relationship is going to continue, especially when it comes to Game Pass, that service that Xbox champions every single time. Here's what the article has to say and what Phil Spencer said about Game Pass coming to other platforms. Phil Spencer suggests Nintendo and PlayStation don't want to support Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Phil Spencer has been talking to Games Radar as part of a new interview suggesting, unsurprisingly, that Nintendo and PlayStation don't want something like Xbox Game Pass to be brought to their platforms right now. Okay, so this is something I need to address because I've actually gotten a lot of people asking me this question. Why hasn't PlayStation or Nintendo put something like Game Pass on their platform? Not Game Pass specifically from Xbox, but a service that people can use to get even more games at a great price, not to mention putting first-party games day and date in that service, something that I think Nintendo and PlayStation could truly compete with Xbox. Here's some of the reasons why I think it's not happening and why they might emulate this a little later down the road. Number one, it costs a lot of money to do this, from an infrastructure to getting servers, not to mention having a lot of first-party content come out continuously. I mean, we have to see that Xbox has invested billions upon billions of dollars into first-party games just so they can get continuous content on the service and keep people subscribed. Something I don't think Nintendo and Sony can do because they release about 1 to 2 first-party games out a year. Sure, they have some signed third-party deals out there that can make it up to 4 to 5 games, but usually it's about the first-party content that they control, and that's something that Xbox has down pat with Game Pass. Number two, it goes against a lot of the things they've already set up this generation, mainly from Sony PlayStation side. From the $70 price hike to exclusives coming out at a lesser pace. If we remember, Sony did say they'll make bigger games, but they'll release less of them because of how big they're going to be and the budget. We've seen Sean Layden talk about this, who's a former executive at Sony, and we've seen Jim Ryan talk about how games are getting expensive and that making this price hike was a necessity. Number three, it's hard to compete with a service like Game Pass since it's already established, especially if you don't have their original content dropping in there consistently like Xbox does. I mean, we have to look at this holiday season as an example. Xbox is about to bring out 4 or 5 new first-party games into Game Pass already, and they're not even really getting help from Bethesda yet, the $7.5 billion investment they made earlier last year. So yeah, I'm not looking into this any other way. I think that Sony will try to emulate this, but it's going to take time. And those are the main reasons why we don't see a version of Game Pass from PlayStation or Nintendo for quite some time at all. Will it never happen? Of course not. It will come sooner or later, but those 3 reasons might be why we don't see it for a very long time. Maybe, just maybe, into the next generation when the new consoles come out, we might see something like Game Pass coming from Nintendo or PlayStation more likely. But over time, maybe at the end of this generation, that might happen. Now, as for Game Pass from Xbox coming to those platforms, it's going to be a hard no for PlayStation, because once PlayStation gamers see that Xbox Game Pass being far more valuable than what they're paying for $70 per game, especially when you get so many AAA or AA games in that service almost every single month to every single week. Sony doesn't want people to go to that platform and maybe leave the Sony platform because of that value. That goes with Nintendo also. Not to mention Nintendo Switch can't handle all of the first-party games that Xbox makes, or even some of the third-party games. They're not supported on that platform. So it would be a watered-down version of the service to just get it on the Nintendo platform, which I don't think Xbox and Nintendo want on there. So that's why I think Nintendo's a little more exempt. Those are the main reasons why we won't see these platforms get Xbox Game Pass. But now let's get into the interview some more and see what Phil Spencer has to say. Here's what he said. Asked about the potential of an Xbox app on Nintendo Switch, Spencer explained that he wants the full Xbox experience to be something that we deliver, and ultimately, closed platforms aren't interested in supporting that. Here's what he said. We have no plans to bring it to any other kind of closed platforms right now, mainly because those closed platforms don't want something like Game Pass. There's a ton of open platforms out there for us to grow in, the web, PC, and mobile. So all of our focus, frankly, is on those platforms. Spencer admitted he can see why the disruption of Game Pass is not something that they want right now, reiterating that if Game Pass was going to be available on those platforms, it would have to be the full experience. I love the closed platform aspect of this because Phil Spencer is right. Sony's PS5 and Nintendo Switch is a closed off platform. They keep their games on one machine. That's it. And that's all you get to play them on. If you want to play their games, buy our machine. It's weird and archaic and something that should be changed, especially since platforms are opening so much and games want cross-save, cross-play, and everything's becoming cross-platform. All the while, Xbox has these games on their consoles, on PC, and of course on the cloud. They have 3 platforms that are completely open to put their games on. It's awesome to see, especially since it's all connected to the Xbox network. So yeah, in order for Game Pass to work on other platforms, it would need to connect with the Xbox network and also give the full features of that service. Something that Sony and Nintendo are just not open to doing. We've seen it before. They don't want to open their network. They don't want to open their platform for other people to go in there and make a profit from it. We saw it from the Epic Games leaks of the documents and courts. We saw it everywhere where Sony just wanted their cut of the money. And this isn't something new. The article mentions back in August of last year about leaked documents talking about this. Here's what was said. It was suggested back in August 2020 in confidential documents made public as part of the Epic Games and Apple court battle that Phil Spencer and his team hadn't given up on trying to bring Xbox Game Pass to consoles such as Nintendo Switch. But a Polygon interview with Nintendo in December appeared to indicate a general lack of interest. As you can see, Xbox is open to getting Game Pass on multiple platforms, and of course it is, because they'll make more money from that. But it's Sony and Nintendo that don't want that because it will show just how much value gamers get on the Xbox platform. All the while, to buy a single game on those platforms costs way more money compared to Xbox. Oh, and this isn't just about first-party games, it's about third-party games also that come to Game Pass and you could get them for basically nothing. I'm talking MLB The Show, I'm talking about the Outriders, and all these other third-party games that are dropping into Game Pass and people just get them. I mean, we just got Hades in there that I'm loving and I'm playing a bunch of it. Yet people on PlayStation have to pay for that game. And that's the difference. That's what I don't think Sony wants to show. I don't think they want to show people that, hey, you have to pay $60, $50, $40 for this game, or even $70 for our first-party games. All the while, every first-party game goes to Game Pass for Xbox, and you get it for the $10 price tag or $15 price tag. It's weird to see that, and I think they're a little afraid of having gamers see that value and then leaving their platform. And that's something that I think competition can bring, is that it's becoming that it's about the games, the services, and not just the console. Let's see if that changes, and let's see if we get Game Pass on both Nintendo and the PlayStation 5. But let me know what you think about all of this. Will we see Xbox Game Pass on the PlayStation 5 at all this generation? Will Sony make their own Game Pass version? Will Nintendo make their own version of Game Pass? Does Xbox have too big of a head start with Game Pass? Is this service going to be the new standard across gaming? Does Sony have enough studios to even do what Xbox is doing? Will we see some sort of partnership between these 3 companies later down the line? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a bunch of games. I've been playing NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, which is a lot of fun. Got it for like $7 on Xbox Live with all their deals. And I've been playing a lot of Hades. That game dropped for PC and Xbox Series X on Game Pass. I've been playing it on the console, and man, do I love it. It is such a good roguelike game. I think it's very well balanced. It's not annoying. Like, if you die, you have to start all over, but it doesn't irritate me. You keep a lot of your upgrades, your guy's a little stronger as you move forward, and I feel like the progression is just perfect. I felt like I could beat the boss exactly when I felt I could beat him. I didn't think it was cheaping me out and I was getting killed. When I killed the boss, I felt very satisfied because, hey, I earned all this new upgrades, and I had a great little mix-up of abilities and all that mixed in. It's a great game, and I can see why it was a contender for 2020 Game of the Year. So look forward to that on Game Pass because, man, I think everybody should check it out. And let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Series X, your PS5, or your PC? Let me know down below because that's what we're here, is to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.